All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Devilman Crybaby, episode 9.
Oh,
all right.
Boy.
The penultimate episode.
Ha. Yeah.
This is where usually I would say they are going to transition into the full-on Evangelion like crazy stuff, but they already did that recently.
They already did that. So
right
now it's just chaos.
Now
and
it's just going to be
insanity.
Yeah, it's going to be chaos, insanity, and just despair, just full-on horror. So how badly do you think this is going to go?
As bad as it can get. Like literally, it just your imagination is probably what's going to happen. Like
or a little bit worse.
Or a little bit worse. Yeah.
Okay, because my imagination is going into pretty dark places. Because I've been waiting for the eclipse type moment, basically.
And this is basically it.
And this is basically it, but
it's
it
an
hasn't
internet spread eclipse.
Exactly, but it's not as dark in the spiritual sense as it can get.
Sure.
So I am interested to see what move these supernatural forces will take once humanity starts essentially cannibalizing itself. So now that we have a very explicit, like, Rio is bad, Akira knows.
Yes.
Akira knows is the most important thing.
He may be thick-skinned or he may have a thick skull.
Thick-headed, yeah.
Yeah, thick-headed.
Yeah.
But even this was able to get through.
Okay, so we had in the last episode, we had the last remnants of Miki's family dying.
Yeah.
Nom, 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 nom.
Munchy, munchy.
And, like, blown to pieces by guns.
Yep. And Miki's still alive, and she's in the other room.
And Miko's around as well.
Yeah.
We have a squad, but the squad is now turning on itself.
Right.
My first thought is that Akira will have to kill some of them. Or he'll have to grab maybe like Miki and just fly away.
Fly away now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I could see some kind of romantic stuff come up between the two of them having to run off away to some cave somewhere and have a little kind of Guts Casca-esque, kind of talk. But not like anything.
But with the shock and horror of everything that's been happening, I get the feeling they won't get the time or to even think about that kind of stuff.
So here's my question. Because this is just horror and just crazy chaos, do you think Miki's dying this episode or next episode? or do you think something even worse is happening?
I could see it being the end of this episode.
The end of this episode? Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, here's the potential issue, though. It's the Guts issue. If Miki dies, and Akira really has nothing other than revenge, then that's a very singular type story, right? So maybe they'll keep her alive specifically so that the threat of that can be there,
right? Well, things are going to end in a conversation anyway. So the question is I would say, does Miki need to be around for that conversation? I would say no.
No, she doesn't. Yeah.
So it's primarily a story about two basically pseudo brothers, and yeah, we need to clear off some variables before we can get to that. So, guys,
that's one way to think about it.
Yeah, this show, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Three, two, one. Dude, wait. Oh, I just realized something. I should freeze frame maybe like once we've finished this show. But I've always wondered, there was a figure behind Akira's Amon form.
Oh.
The whole time it looked like, and as it would come up close to it would skip to the next thing.
Okay.
So maybe we've got some even like crazier, like bigger things that this is going to go into.
Well, and these Rorschach images definitely make me think of things.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. A showdown of the two of them.
Yeah. Oh. And that.
Yep.
That's gonna be something.
I love it. Okay. Yep. Wait. Did he miss?
Did someone else shoot the guy?
Wait. Oh. Oh. Yep, that is true. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. And then they shoot her.
No. No. Good.
Oh.
Because everyone else knows.
Mm-hmm. Mickey should go with him. But will she be here? Will she still be alive?
Dang it. Passing the baton, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the problem. Whenever you have the protagonist leaving the other group of protagonists, like, I'll come back.
Right. It's
and
like,
now there's horrible things headed towards them.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so he is obviously trying to show them that he's getting away.
Right.
And that'll lead them away.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, but that doesn't mean they're the only people that'll come to this place.
Yes, that's true. There are people that will be slower.
Mm-hmm.
Go to hell, you mortals. Oh!
Okay.
Oh, dang! Oh! Wow, so they were all demons. Wow.
Holy crap.
That's why he was acting so bravado and stuff. Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Whoa, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Okay. So they're packing up. Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, rejected. Look at his face.
Yeah.
Okay, he's being a good guy.
Yeah. Believe in that bling too.
Believe in that bling. Oh my god. Oh. Wow, he shut them up. Wow. Wow. One person was moved. Only one person's heart was moved. Jeez.
Dang. Oh boy.
Non-Instagram.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
Boy.
Whoa. This could be good and bad, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. She's standing up for him. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Don't fall for it. It's yeah. Wow.
Dang.
People saying, "Oh, give me a break," and hurry up and kill him, you slut, you witch.
Yeah, that's...
Please kill her too. Oh my god, this is just. Ah.
But maybe.
Wow. Oh my god.
Oh,
wow. Oh.
Oh. Miko?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Is this really happening?
Whoa. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, and it's the kids.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. This is huge. Oh my god. Whoa. So startup grassroots movement, slowly but surely. Oh, whoa, they're past. Ah! Whoa! Was that a missile?
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
All right, I guess it can breathe fire or something.
Yeah, it's like a dragon.
Oh! And it's gone!
Wow!
All right.
This is awesome. Oh, crap. Okay. Ah! Oh my god. Ah, yeah. Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, crap. Oh,
Shoot.
crap. They waited too long.
Yeah. Miko could maybe get her out of there.
That's true. Okay, we're bringing this up. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. No. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
And then the... Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Jeez.
What the crap?
They're paranoid with fear. Oh my god. Oh no. Hey, get her out of here. Get her out of here. Jeez. Ah, of course.
Yeah, you never should have left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
well,
she's dead.
She's dead now. Oh, smooth.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, good. Get her out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right,
Yep. Awesome. I'm gonna jump. Cool.
All right.
Okay, they're getting away.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Whew.
Wait, what?
Wait,
cat
hold on a
was
second.
a-
The cat?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Crap.
Oh my god. Wow.
Wait, what? Crap, they're gonna die here. It's gonna be like some artillery shells gonna come out of nowhere.
No. Nothing dumb like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a truck, yeah. Pass the baton, yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, run off the path.
Yeah,
Come on.
Get in the river. Go literally anywhere else.
She might get away in the river. I could see that happening. But they're doing all these flashbacks and yeah. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Kid in the background trying. Oh. Oh. This is so wholesome despite what's...
Yeah.
Oh,
Crap.
That's it. Yeah, where's my anchor? Ah! Oh! Wow. Get into the river now.
Good.
Now. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
No. Oh my god.
Even him.
Miki. Oh. Yeah, he knows. He knows now. Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Not the usual ending.
Sometimes I hate how easy it is to predict certain things about shows, you know? Like I would have loved to get to know Miko / Miki.
Yep.
And all of them a little bit more. And it's like the show is so genius by having it be this obvious thing that everything's going to go up in flames, so that you treasure the time you get with these characters. But even then, you still feel robbed because you should have gotten more time.
Yeah.
This ED is a nice salve, though, on the...
It is, but...
on my cold, dead heart.
Yep. Because, like, how can you feel anything after that?
Well, I guess it's a product of the show. It's trying to make you, I would say, specifically numb. Like, just cold.
Not a Devilman.
Yeah.
Not a Crybaby, you know?
Well, that's part of, I would say, the beauty of Akira.
Right.
Is that he burns
cares throughout it all.
And cares throughout it all.
Yeah.
But us, we...
Yeah, bringing us back to this, the motorcycle ride.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, it was a bike ride. Yeah, right.
That was nice of you, show.
Yeah.
That was really nice of you. Giving us this. On a plus side, though, I love how much of this episode was actually based in the philosophy of what does it take to be a human and what does it mean to be human.
Yeah.
Miko and Miko literally like asking the questions like over and over again as she's getting stabbed to death, you know. Miki giving her social media posts and essentially dooming them all. But creating a spark that would spread, you know, across humanity in the same way that Akira did. Yeah, and then we have to close the curtain on that act. Well done, show. Well done. Okay. All right. Okay. So.
It was worse than we imagined.
It was worse than we imagined, yeah. And it was probably also because of, I would say, how wholesome this episode was.
Yep.
They had to show a really strong contradiction because we've just gotten too much despair.
Right. So they made us hope.
Just enough.
They actually did.
Just enough, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like at the beginning of the whole thing, we're like, so, when's she gonna die?
Right, exactly.
And then this episode starts and we're like, okay, she's gonna die. But then they start doing this stuff in the middle where we're like, oh.
Yeah, like people are turning around.
Akira's starting to move the hearts of humans. He's starting to move the hearts of people who maybe there's something being said though about kids and that they haven't been corrupted as much yet.
Right, there's not as much fear in them. Yeah, they're willing to believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have as much doubt and
and
stuff. And then we end up having the social media post from Miki that ends up being this interesting form of, I would say, showcasing Miki's love, her unconditional love for Akira, and it being something that I would say speaks beyond the immediate instance, because you could look at this in a certain way. It's basically saying, in order to make a difference and to burn bright with all that is good in humanity and stuff, you are going to attract a lot of things.
Yeah.
And in this instance, all those that were, scared of Akira turned that fear over to Miki.
Yep.
Which makes sense. And yet there was this aspect of it being almost a conversation that I think transcends the literal aspect of the social media post. Because obviously there could be a social media thing where she's like live tweeting, essentially, where she's doing a bunch of little social media posts. But I liked how over the course of it, as she continued in this, and despite people like calling for a firing squad on Miki and like all the names and all the stuff getting leveled at her, there were people that came forward and were brave enough to basically let other people know that they stood with her.
Right.
Now, there's all kinds of analogies that can be made here.
Absolutely.
So many things with social commentary and all kinds of stuff there, but I want to talk about the philosophical aspect of it.
Okay.
It's those first people that join with someone who speaks up in the crowd and basically demands that we reevaluate things and really search for the truth of the matter here.
Right.
And it's extremely brave to be the first one to speak.
Right. Because like once the crowd started lining up to hug Akira, everyone was doing it. It wasn't hard to do it at that point.
Yep. But that first person that joins you, that first person that says, I will too, they are almost taking as big of a risk as the initial person who speaks.
Right.
And it's something that I would say we need more people, not just like Akira and Miki. We need more people like the kid who goes up first and hugs.
Yeah. I thought that kid was going to die.
I thought that kid was going to die.
I thought that kid was going to get shot.
Yeah. But once that kid stays strong and resolute in that whole thing there, a really unique human thing happens. In fact, you'll find this, you can do this in a positive way. Go hang out with some people in some kind of environment that has a large crowd of people.
Okay.
and do something that no one else is doing and keep doing it. An example would be like if you went to a food court and you started dancing. You just started dancing, you just started going for it in the middle of a food court, right?
Sure.
Now, there's maybe like 50 people there. Some people are going to laugh. Some people are going to point. Some people are just going to look and just ignore you. But if you keep doing it,
maybe you'll get
long
one person.
enough, you might get one person. Something amazing happens after you get that one person.
Because then suddenly the idea is incepted in everyone's mind of, should I go up there too?
Yeah, maybe I'm missing out on something.
Right.
Maybe there's something there.
What do they see there?
There's some kind of value there that I haven't noticed. And it's beautiful to see, but this is how mob minded we are as a species. This is something that is both a positive and a detriment to us.
Oh yeah.
Is that Rio took a stand and didn't say anything necessarily brave, but said something that was against the norm. And because he continued to propagate this, and he had all this other stuff to back it up, it was easy for other people to join in his thing.
Because he played to the fears that he knew everyone already had.
Yes, and he manipulated their fears in order to move things into a specific way.
Right.
But we have Akira here, who basically comes to probably the worst place where they're actually just slaughtering humans, torturing them, put them on like stakes and about to burn them alive. And he's just like, why? What are you doing? And he's giving them every reason to actually go, what? You're one of them. You're literally in the form of one of them. If he came in as a human, he might have had more success with trying to get them to shut up. But they actually wouldn't have really paid attention to him either.
Yeah, if anything, they would have, because then they would have thought, oh, it's something that needs to be revealed. And once he turns into a demon, we were right all along, as opposed to openly coming to them as a demon and just standing there. They're attacking him, and he's just standing there, and he's saying, come on, what's going on?
Why are you like this? Why do we have to kill each other? Why do we hate each other? And when the kid stops throwing, or doesn't throw the rock, he's basically just holding it.
Looking at it,
realizing, wait a minute. I don't have to follow the mob.
Right.
Like in some respects, y'all, this is something that we should all kind of take a little bit of a step back every once in a while. Obviously, groups can do really good things.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, like when you realize we get so easily swept up in our emotions towards hatred, especially if it's a negative emotion. Towards certain things, and there's sometimes very good reason for that. Like negative emotion can be something that's powerful.
It's helped us survive in a lot of ways.
And course correct things that need to be course corrected. But every once in a while, be like the kid. And take a look at like what you're doing and who you are and and realize that we're all people. There's something really beautiful in this episode that I hope doesn't get overshadowed by the traumatic ending of the episode. Like, it's very easy to look at this episode, I would say, and go, this is the where everything goes horribly wrong episode.
Yeah, and all the positive stuff is just to make that hurt more.
Exactly.
So it's all basically just fake and just, like exactly. A house of straw to build up to get blown down by the big bad wolf,
Yeah, exactly.
But
there's so much here. There's so much here because when we as people get riled up and passionate about something, we can enact huge, great change. But every once in a while,
good and bad,
I'm a huge, I firmly believe in passion being something that is more good than bad. But when you realize that it's turning you against other people, maybe look at it and go, wait a minute. Do a double take.
Yeah.
Self-doubt, question yourself and be like, wait, whoa. Attacking, there's some really cool things that could be gone into here, but to just take about it from the philosophical standpoint, why do we hate each other? Why do we fight each other? Why do we kill each other? Why do we as people find it so acceptable to hate another person?
It's how we survived when we were in tribes.
But that's the thing. Tribes weren't always a thing.
like when we were just like...
Well, no, the idea of having there be multiple tribes, like the idea of like here's my thought. Like, yes, conflict and all this is part of the tragedy of humanity, is that we are so limited in our perspective often that we turn towards each other in order to survive, when I'd say it's more often a much less of a survival thing and more of a, well, you could be thinking the dark things that I'm thinking, right. So I want to get rid of you before you get into the potential chance where you can hurt me. Right. It's all fear-based. It's not really based in logic.
Yep. In the same way that this whole world in this story was a powder keg that Rio just lit and boom. Yeah. At the same time, it can sometimes be that one kind act, that one basically step in a different direction that can cause the shift. Because like nowadays, like, you know, we don't really have as much of a tribal mentality. If anything, it's like not in a literal sense, right? We're not in literal tribes, right? But it might be like, the anime community could be considered a tribe, right? You know, and then there's all those weird normies out there that, you know, don't understand the greatness of these Chinese cartoons. But yeah, it's not really a survival thing anymore. It's more of a comfort thing. Whereas, you know, maybe back in the day it was, you know, more of a thing of like, okay, there's a limited amount of food, right? You know,
it is tribal in the sense that it is group oriented stuff based around ideologies, beliefs, convictions, passions, etc. Right. But it is less about survival. You're right, and that's why I think we really, really, really need to reevaluate whenever hatred overcomes us in any facet. Yep. Because once that is something that, you know, is done, at least in this case, I believe that the most well-intentioned person overcome by hatred believes that their survival and others' survival depends on it. But look at Akira here. Look at Akira. Does he get overcome by hatred? No, he gets overcome with sorrow and sadness. He reveals his vulnerability by crying. He actually tells everyone that this scene, what he's seeing here, it pains him. And it is way more mature and, I would say, powerful to reveal the pain by which, you know, the tragedies of humanity. You know, you can look all over across the globe and see all kinds of things that are horrifying. It's still happening today. Yeah, tons of things. It's crazy. Instead of tapping into hatred, tap into sorrow, tap into sadness, weep. Because here's something I find actually powerful in the weakness of this, is that you're being vulnerable. You're suddenly recognized as an individual. One of the things that I would say, the most well-intentioned aspect of, and good intentions mean nothing in my opinion for the most part. It's your actions. But with the people that I'm, you know, trying to understand the aspect of going so deep into hatred, is that they believe they're doing this for others. That there's some great goal for this. Yeah. But ultimately, it still boils down to hatred of, in some ways, yourself by hating some aspect of other people or humanity. It's something.
Okay. Well, by hatred, do you mean like the acknowledgement and recognition of the inner darkness inside all of us that then we project out onto other people? And I'm talking
about hatred. It's wishing someone was dead, basically. The most simple form of it.
But basically, I don't follow how that comes from self-hatred necessarily.
No, I didn't say it comes from self-hatred.
What did you say? Something about...
Okay, you need to... It's okay, just hold on, hold on. Yeah. So what I said was that when people delve into hatred of another person, you are hating yourself because you are a human and they are a human. You are violating yourself by wishing it's in some ways basically death or, you know, hatred on another person. So that's why we need to reevaluate it, not just on the standpoint of whether or not the intentions or the reason why is worth it.
Just because the reason why it has a negative effect because it changed. Okay,
I'm talking about the connectedness of humanity, Jacob.
Yeah.
That when you hate someone else, you wish murder upon them, you are violating yourself. So it will turn to self-hatred eventually, sure, But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have something you wanted to put a twist on that? Or?
No. That what you were saying seems like it. I thought it was going to go somewhere more complicated, and but correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. The foundational point of what you were saying is, it's not natural for humans to kill each other, or at least when that happens, that changes us in a way that is not good.
Hatred is not natural. Hatred is actually a self-violation.
I would disagree, but okay.
Okay, right. What do you define as hatred? Like, because maybe we have a different definition of hatred.
Maybe, but okay, where you?
Well, I want to know why you disagree.
I would say the definition of hatred is pretty self-explanatory. It's when you have intense negative feelings towards another thing, right?
Well, right, but I would say that's something that can be. That's just a scale on a specific thing, but there's no specificity to it.
Okay,
I would say a simple definition of hatred is basically the devaluing of a person to the point where humanity would be better off if they didn't exist.
So
wishing murder upon, wishing death
a general
upon someone.
Definition, then hatred is something where when you despise it to the level where you wish it didn't exist.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yes, and I would say hatred towards other humans is completely unnatural. I understand hatred towards a concept, an idea, a thing.
And I would say that is wholly untrue. I would say there's a reason why we are able to hate, and that's because it's a way that we defend ourselves. When something, if you have someone that does something unspeakably horrible, right? Mm-hmm. The natural inclination is to hate that person.
Right.
Now that might not necessarily be the best thing to do, but the fact that is something that is the, what just the vast majority of people go to, I would say that does indicate that it is natural for humans, right?
Right. Okay. So then maybe we should go towards the definition of natural. What I would say is that anything that's natural is something that comes as it comes to you of your own accord, meaning that there is no influence outside specifically for it. And
it's like a default?
As a default, yeah, I would say.
Sure, yeah.
And I would say that hatred is taught. It is not natural. It is
sure. So if we lived in a vacuum, then we would never hate.
Well, I would say not necessarily that you live in a vacuum. I would say if you lived, maybe that's why I was saying they're bringing up the kids here. These kids haven't been won over by the teachings of hatred yet.
Exactly.
That's my point, is that there is obviously some levels by which you will receive the influence of hatred-based ideologies, beliefs, and all that. But there is a measure by which you can still have, I would say, a form of innocence, which is I would say a similar to your I would say more black and white version of it, with it being a vacuum. But it is not just a thing where it's its own thing and there's no counteractive element to it. Meaning that here'd be an example.
It being hatred, or?
Well, no. Here's an example. I would say hatred is like a sickness, right? Okay. So if you lived in a vacuum, you couldn't get sick with hatred because you're in a vacuum. Yeah. But if you lived in an environment where hatred was coming at you and stuff like that, you would build
up. It's contagious, yeah.
Yeah, you would build up, I would say, in the same way as that you would get infected with it, you would build up a slight resistance to it by experiencing it and weathering it in a way. You would get sick.
Okay, sure.
And then your body would reevaluate and get better. But it would expunge it, and that's why I would say it's not natural. The sickness didn't come from inside you. The sickness was taught. It was imbibed. It came from the external.
So that raises a very interesting philosophical question.
Yeah,
if it didn't come from inside people, then where did it come from?
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is that it comes from other people.
No. I would say the main reason.
No, hold on. If
people propagate it.
Yeah, whatever. But that means that one person catches it from another person.
Yep.
Who catches it from another person? Is there ever a point where you catch it from something that is not a person?
Yes, absolutely.
Give me an example. One example.
It'd be an single example. It'd be an indirect thing where you wouldn't catch it from another person.
Such as
a belief, basically.
So, and a
it would be communicated by people. But do you see the difference there?
So that starts with a person.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Jacob. But the actual yeah. Okay, let's go back to the sickness thing, because I understand what you're saying, and you're right in that,
like, the sickness has to start somewhere. Like do we propagate it? Absolutely, you know.
Yeah, but I believe at some point there was a time where there was no hatred in the world, and that has to be the case.
Okay,
that has to be the case, because a baby doesn't start off with hatred.
Okay, so taking this analogy, baby doesn't start out with hatred, and maybe, in the whole case of, like, say, we were talking about the tribal thing of,
right,
like, other, limited supply of food, and then, hey, you don't want these people to take away your food, so maybe the tribes kill each other so that they can have singular access to this food, right? That would be considered an act of hatred by this definition we've set up, right?
Yes, I would say that hatred is an evolution, in the same way that Star Wars teaches us. Hatred is an evolution of natural negative emotions because of a lack of either a cure or some kind of intentional built-up resistance towards those things like fear and anger. Right. So, in Star Wars, you have the
fear leads to anger, to hate, to suffering. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And that is something we both agree on. Absolutely, right.
So, but if that's the case, then wouldn't that mean then that, because what it comes across is that when you think, when I say hatred being a natural aspect of humanity, that, and you say no, that it seems like you're coming at it from the standpoint that humans are fairly static, in that something that is natural all the time, as opposed to, like, natural in certain circumstances, or when the fear, that's the natural, goes along the certain evolution by its nature would be something that is natural.
Right. So I am going at it from the nature side of things. Yes, you're right, in that humans and every creature, this is something that I would say you can even go back to animals for this thing specifically, is that all living things feel fear.
Right.
Like, there are probably some things that I don't know about, because I'm not a biologist or anything like that, they don't experience fear. Like, they have, like, they just don't experience it. But all of us experience fear. And there's probably people that have conditions to where they don't experience fear.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of fears that are learned, but then there have been studies that have shown that there are certain ones that are innate,
I would say, though, that while fear is natural, hatred only comes about because of fear. If fear was a dead end, meaning that fear, which is natural,
if you had no fear, then there would be no hatred. Yep.
But that's the thing, though. But that's the thing, is that there are people I know who have focused on developing themselves to where they remove all but the most necessary survival fears, like a fear of touching a flame, kind of thing, a fear of falling from a great height.
Right.
They do have fear sometimes, but it's a minor sickness. It's the effectiveness of killing the common cold. Now, here's something that I would say is interesting, just in the idea of our environment being something that's inhabited by those with willpower, people, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I feel like a person, an individual, would never experience if there were other people, and you brought up the whole idea of the vacuum here, but this is something that's good to bring up, right? Is that if a person was alone, they still experienced, all kinds of emotions and things like that. I don't know if they would ever turn to hatred, because in some ways, I think you need now I'm kind of contradicting
something external to hate in order to
exactly. And I'm kind of contradicting myself, but do you see the principle I'm going for here? Is that hatred requires a lot of extra stuff in order to be because
it's something that it's something that is a response to usually something in the environment. Like, you could hate yourself, but even then, usually that's a case where you're measuring yourself up to something that was brought to you because of your environment or expectations or whatever.
And that's probably
you don't measure up, right?
Right, and that's probably more of an insecurity thing based around like a fragile ego rather than actual like indignant self-hatred.
Like you didn't exist, and that probably would exist. They would just, again, be in the more extreme cases. Yeah. But and that whole brings up the notion that of human nature, because what is human nature? How flexible is it? How immutable is it? Can we actually change our own natures, right? Mm-hmm. Like the whole thing with the Devilman, right? That's something where Akira's nature was changed, right? He was turned into a demon, right? But at the same time, he still had his own free will, right? That was not changed. Yeah. While maybe he felt a lot hornier, in the immediate aftermath of that and all sorts of things because his body had been changed.
Right.
He was still him.
Yeah.
In this case with all the people that mob around everywhere and were killing people like crazy and, cutting people into pieces and putting them on stakes and cheering and stuff. Mm-hmm. How changeable is that part of them, that nature, essentially, that they got to this place, because of how they were before that.
Right.
Are they able to change? And Akira did that whole thing that was absolutely fantastic.
The point that I think that they're saying is that humans are extremely malleable.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with us being static. We are definitely very, very malleable. Mm-hmm. But there are also people who have focused their life on removing things like fear and hatred.
Sure.
Miki never hated anyone in this show.
Yeah.
The one that came to her and said, I hated you. Uh-huh. I hated your guts. I hated every time your name was brought up because it reminded me of my own inadequacies and all that.
And that was
an intentional thing put in the episode, I think, to draw out the idea that even though Miki is right now getting hit with the sickness that is hatred, she's immune.
Well, and more importantly, she's been infected with another sickness. And that sickness is also contagious.
What's that?
Love. And that infected Miko. And then because of that, when all the people were killing her, and she wasn't like, she did not have any hate towards them while they were in the act of killing her. She was just thinking about Miki. She was telling them, asking them those questions, right? Yeah. In the same way that it infected Akira when he was, going through all the crazy stuff that he's gone through over the course of this show, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was able to infect the kids that then infected the adults,
Okay, so you're saying love isn't natural then? Because okay, you're saying just that it's spreading. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
because I also think hatred is natural.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So my standpoint on this is that love is something that I would say we probably would have to be taught that.
Sure.
We probably would have to be taught that in the same way that hatred is taught. I would say we are much simpler animals than we probably like to admit. And I would say both then, if we would agree then that love is something that needs to be taught, then I would say that love and hatred are both things that are not natural, in that we wouldn't come upon them in a vacuum of our own basically, volition and stuff. So that means
it's tough.
That means that here's the beautiful aspect of this is that human beings individually are extremely powerful. There's so much an individual can do.
Oh yeah, positive and negative.
But a group is even stronger.
Right.
A group can do insane things that aren't ever on the table under any circumstance for an individual. Right. Meaning there is no there's absolutely zero opportunity for certain things for an individual to do comparatively to a group.
Right.
And I would say that is the beauty of family, of groups, of basically these tight-knit woven bands of people, in that they can learn love, but they can also learn hatred.
Right.
And in that respect, I would say on the individual level, hatred, because that was the main thing I think they're trying to focus on this episode, less so than love, is that hatred is not natural. And that's why when Akira, the individual, comes into this situation and sees what the group hath wrought, what the group has done, he damns them all to hell because...
With hatred.
With hatred. That's the thing. That was him getting contaminated with the group. It's I reject my humanity, JoJo. Kind of thing, and he.
Yeah, the only reason why I would still say that it is a part of humanity's nature is because of humanity's nature to be changeable, to basically, and I firmly believe that not only that humans are changeable, but that humans are able to change themselves.
Yeah,
that the environment is always stronger than willpower, but willpower plays a part too.
Yeah,
and the idea that humans could hate just fine in the same way that they could also love, but the thing is that in the environment that we have is not one that is conducive to love. It is way more conducive to things like hatred. But then you still get things like like the people really caring for each other, right? Like with Mickey, like with Akira to the people around him, right?
And Mickey's family,
exactly. That's something that still happens, and that's why I think humans. I speak as if I'm not one of them. Are such amazing creatures, and why the exploration of ourselves through narratives and things like that is so incredible is because of how dynamic we are, how there is that potential for great evil, great hatred, and at the same time great love, right? And those both come from the same place. Like they both come from the same humans, right? Even if it's different circumstances and things like that bring it about, and it is very heavily influenced by the environment and things like that, because we adapt, right?
Yeah, this is a good discussion, because I still am complete disagreement about the natural aspect of hatred, and
it probably just boils down to what we consider to be natural and stuff like that, in that slight like perspective shifts and decision making that you need to do when presented with information. You need to come to some sort of conclusion. There's no ability to truly objectively come to a conclusion based on things that you're presented with.
Well, there is a way, but then we would have to start making assumptions about the origins of humanity.
right, yeah.
So like you would get basically down to at some point there was one of us. At some point we had the first
two of us.
No, just at some point there was no other humans except one. So they had your vacuum. Did that human being have any concept or any experience or any whatever of love or hatred?
Yeah, but even then, you have to, in order to do that, you have to assume the same certain means things by which you evaluate the world and everything, like even in something like math, right? Like math is about as like objective as you can get, but even then you have to agree that you're talking about math.
Yeah. So like, here's actually a great question for the comments and stuff, because I would like to go into the comments once this show is over and come back to this one and see what's going on. But the mods can also put stuff as well. If you're here at the end of the discussion, that means you're awesome, because somehow we didn't talk about the episode much at all.
I mean, it was a traumatic episode and I feel dead inside. And,
But I want to hear your thoughts on the idea of both hatred and love, and the whole discussion around whether or not either of them are natural.
Sure.
I want to know. I want to know what you guys think about that, and go into some really non-hatred filled discussion. Like channel the better parts of your humanity. This is our missive. This is your missive from the SOS bros.
Should you choose to accept it.
Have some good quality discussion without hatred about the subject of our nature as people. Because I think that when we, at the very least, are a little bit more open to that whole discussion of things, there's so much more acceptance that comes towards others, and also acceptance of yourself in a way.
Because like in this episode, once they actually started having a conversation, right, it ended up going well, right? The problem was when they would, people would be killing each other so that the conversation couldn't be had, right? That's when there's the issue, Communication is key.
Communication is so key. So this episode was absolutely maddening, but there was a random little twist thing thrown in there. Rio's skyscraper blew up.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not sure what that was supposed to be.
It wasn't a divine explosion. We know that.
Right.
It was a human done bomb explosion.
And it seemed like Rio had a plan in it somehow, because he was like, Akira, when are you going to get here? And then the thing explodes. I'm like, okay,
Maybe Rio killed all the other demons there.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh yeah, it's probably that.
Like, cause let's break this down. So Rio is Satan, you know.
Right, exactly.
Rio is Mr. 666, and
he's a selfish little bugger, I'm guessing.
I mean, he's an angel. So yeah. I mean, yeah. And if he's not one of them, maybe there's a reason why. There's a reason why Akira and him are kind of the main characters.
Right.
Of
What's
this.
special about Akira exactly, other than the fact that he's been possessed by Amon? Like, because of how they've been set up from the beginning, it could just be a narrative aspect, or maybe some intervention from God of having, putting Rio next to Akira, and Akira being the big crybaby, right? Which then, of course, makes it very fitting that Satan goes to corrupt Rio or Akira. But is there something more than that? Like, or is it just narrative? Like, it works for the parallels, Yeah,
there's some stuff that they're saving for episode 10,
right?
And I'm excited for that because that is the last episode, y'all.
Yeah,
the last episode of this Madhouse show, like absolute crazy. Or is it Madhouse?
I don't think so.
No,
but this is a Madhouse.
This is a Madhouse of a show, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean the house is burning now, but
And Akira done torched. The murderers.
You got a breath weapon.
Yep. So, here we go. Yeah. If you want to see the final episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can get into the discussion of things by any level of support, getting access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about, philosophy or just maybe just stories in general, or just hang out in general and shoot the gaff about whatever. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.